Yeah.
Nobody covered
Yeah.
it. This guy ran for president
I was
twice.
there. It was so sad.
Oh man,
It was a sad day.
oh tell me
thing-
what it feels like to be in the audience there. I mean, how many people in Congress even show up for that hearing?
Oh no, it was a typical empty room session. But let me just finish about my personal motivations, because the
Sure.
third thing after waking people up and working on the current human suffering, the most important thing is the long term, the paradigm shift, the revolution that everybody's talking about, the revolution that we say with love. And I think it is the inevitable course of human history to evolve to a society that is voluntary, that is free of violence and force and coercion and human interactions. But it needs to happen from the ground up. It needs to happen from a paradigm shift. And John F. Kennedy said, another politician that I really admire, not for his political work, but having the courage to talk about the transformation and the realizations and epiphanies that he had after taking office. Of course, a lot of people think he was shot because he took on the Federal Reserve and started issuing silver-backed currency.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, a revolution is coming in America. A revolution which will be compassionate if we care enough, peaceful if we are wise enough, but a revolution which is coming whether we will it or not. We can change its character. We cannot alter its inevitability. And I take the long view of human history. That's why I'm an optimist. And it's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and we may be in the middle of a big step backwards right now, but we're getting ready for a big step forward, and that's really exciting. That's the revolution that we're all just lucky enough to be a part of right now. And I said when I spoke at the rally for the Republic in Minneapolis, referring to the Thomas Jefferson quote, that there may come a time when we will tell the establishment, be it with your blood or ours, we have come to water the tree of liberty. People mistook that I was advocating violence in the resistance, and now I believe there will be times when violent resistance may be necessary. But you have to remember that if this movement is going to succeed, it is going to be because of the philosophical grounding in the moral principles of self-ownership and human liberty. And the weapons in this battle before us today are the keyboard and the YouTube video and the microphone. And make no mistake, these weapons slay tyrants.
Well, I agree, and I think that's why the establishment is now going after the Internet via the Cybersecurity Act and, of course, the Cyberbullying Act, which is just so much Johnny nonsense. It's unbelievable. It's literally just so hard to read that, Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana, is against cyberbullying, and she's been called fat online, but she doesn't even spell fat with the F-A-T. She has to put a star during the word because she doesn't like it. So are you telling me that because a 16-year-old girl can't handle a comment about her weight, a 16-year-old multimillionaire girl can't handle a comment about her weight from one of her, jealous fans or some psychopath, something that comes along with fame, I have to lose my free speech on the Internet? I mean, come on.
Dude, why do you know all that? I don't think your teeny bopper fan club is going to be the best argument against cyber censorship. I'm sorry, dude.
I'm just saying that the fact that they're using the #1 recording artist, the one that your kids are listening to, and they're going, yeah, I'm against cyberbullying, and you can't even call somebody fat. I mean, they use the excuse, at least for the Cybersecurity Act and then the Cyberbullying Act, of this woman who was getting revenge on some girl for her daughter on MySpace. She posed as a young boy that was interested in the girl, and then basically had this fake relationship with her online, and the girl ended up committing suicide after the mom told her to kill herself. So now we have to regulate free speech. But putting out, this Disney character.
No. You know what we need to do? We need to have, if it was the mother that told her to commit suicide, we obviously need to have the government come in and ban motherhood. That's the only answer. That's the only answer.
You're right. If we sterilize everybody, everything will be okay. We'll have the sustainability Ted Turner so lovingly talks about. It'll be great.
Oh, man. You're not crazy. You're just living in America.
I'm living in this world. Forget about America. Again, it's North America now. I mean, Chrysler, again, it's just... I saw, for instance, let's talk about North America for a minute. You know, they just had this big conference up in Canada last week, you know, called Adapting to a New World Order. I mean, we have Gordon Brown on the world stage at the G8 summit talking about an emerging new world order. We have Time magazine printing articles, Barack Obama's new world order. We have Kissinger saying, hey, this is a great opportunity for a new world order. Ahmadinejad, I have the article right here, yesterday calling for a new world order. Leaders in Brazil yesterday calling for a new world order. They obviously want to restructure the global power structure on a whole new level. And again, that's eviscerating what's left in the middle class and trying to create a greater gap between the elite and the general populace. So we have less say in the kind of wars we get involved in. You know, I don't think they like the fact that, you know, 2003 really through 2008 when they were able to kind of put the kibosh on the anti-war movement by just, you know, people like Cindy Sheehan were all of a sudden evil because they were against Nancy Pelosi and Obama. Even though Nancy Pelosi gets in 2006, the anti-war movement's like, yeah, it's going to end. We're finally going to end everything. We're going to go. And she gets in up. We're not going to bring him up on war crimes. Impeachment is out of the question, and we're going to continue the occupation. And I'll just, you know, be at the right hand of the Dark Lord Bush until he leaves, and then I will serve the Obama administration in hopes of one day being a Hillary Clinton-esque politician. I mean, these people, like I said, the LA Times just did an article. I don't know if you saw it, but it literally is a full article all about how serial killers and politicians share the same traits. I mean, that's not a joke. That's reality. Why don't you speak to that?
Well, it's not their fault. A servile, unquestioning, obedient people will always produce tyrants.
It's a good point.
One lesson from history, that it is the vision that the founders laid out for us as a path we have veered so far from, as an entire country.
You're right. That's why the founders talked about a well-informed populace being the best defense against tyranny. Final segment with Adam Kokesh after this. It's AdamKokesh4Congress.com, PrisonPlanet.tv, InfoWars.com.
Finally in the news this evening, it's being reported that cyber spies from Russia and China have now penetrated our power grid. Even as energy experts are reporting that each summer we get closer and closer to the limits of our nation's power grid, some say that this summer's demand for electrical power may finally push the grid over its edge, creating a cascade of power outages across the country, putting us all in the dark.
Are you prepared for the next round of storm-related outages or government-created blackouts? Have you ever thought about taking steps to get off the grid and generate your own private supply of electrical power? If so, this will be the most important information you have ever heard. Solar-powered generators are finally available. They have no moving parts to wear out or break and require absolutely no gas whatsoever. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Check out mysolarbackup.com before you lose your power.